this video, we're going to look at some of the built-in functions that are available in Access and how to use them, get an understanding of what they are and the broad categories. So here I am in Query Design. I just started a new query. I haven't added any fields. I want you to recall that when you build a query, what you're doing is you're going to select the rows that you want to view, and then I'll put them in the field row here, and then you'll be adding criteria as needed to select only the records that you want to view. This process is called selection. Sometimes, however, you want to display to the user something that's not in a field. Maybe you want to display the tax amount, and the tax amount is 7% of a value of a field. Then you can do a calculation in your field. I want you to also recall in level 2 you did string concatenation. So you can concatenate, for example, the city, state, and zip into one field. Okay, so how do you access these built-in functions? Here I am in an empty field row, and I'm going to click on Build. That brings up my expression builder. In the top pane, you are building the expression that results in what the user is going to see. In the bottom 3 panes, you've got kind of like a hierarchy of operands and operators that you will use to build this expression. If I'm in query when I access the expression builder, the query you're in will always show first. But to see the functions, you will expand functions and you'll see that there are built-in functions. There are functions that I have written. Well, there's a function called FY quarter, and you can even access some web services. I want to talk about now the categories of built-in functions that are available to you. So you will navigate to the category you want, or you can do all, and then you'll see all of them here in the right pane. So for example, there are conversion functions. So conversion functions will allow you to take stuff that's keyed in as string data and convert it if it's convertible. For example, what if I have the value 20 but it's stored in a text field? I can use the C integer and convert that 20 in a text field to an integer and then do math with it. If you've done any programming, you are probably familiar with these conversion functions. Let's skip to date time. So there's lots of parts to a date. A date has a month, a date has a year. There are functions here that allow you to access just that part. I want to show you that as I click on this, it will show you exactly what happens when you use that function, and it shows you what you need to put in as an argument to that function. I'll get to this in the next video. There are financial. There's a financial category. If you need to calculate a payment, a future value. If you've used Excel, you may be familiar with some of these functions. There's a math category, trigonometric functions, convert to integer or round a number or take the square of a number are some of the things you can do with math functions. There's a message category, and if you've done any VB programming, you know you've used an input box or a message box. Here they are right here. And finally, there are SQL aggregate functions. So if you need to, this is like your totals. If you need to do a sum or a count or a max or a min, not only is it available through the drop-down box when you do the totals, it's also available here. And the last category we're looking at is the text category. So you're going to usually have string arguments with the text category. So for example, if you need to convert everything to uppercase, so if you've got something in a string, but you need to display it uppercase, you can use the U case. So these are just some of the categories, and I'll do a few examples in the next video.